Hello friends, I'm very pleased to show you this unusual aggregation of these very small creatures. And who are these? Who are these creatures? If you're an entomologist, if you're an agronomist, you can recognize that these are not spiders, despite their crowding. These are tiny beetles. Yes, that's right, this is aggregation of tiny beetles. And these are weevils. To be correct, these are maize weevils. And they're tiny because you can see on screen many of them. They're aggregating together, males and females. And this is maize weevils. Maize weevils are inhabiting different plants. And they're living not inside stems of plants, but inside seeds of plants, especially inside different cereal grains. They can inhabit different food products which are done from grain and inside the grains. Especially it was found and recognized as a maize pest, so that's why this name greater maize weevil. There are three different species of weevils which are very close in appearance, in their body size, in their colors. And these are rice weevil, Sitophilus oryzae, grain weevil, Sitophilus granarius, and maize weevil, Sitophilus oryzae. So this is oryzae. And they are crowding here because I selected them, I sorted them from grain and put here in petri dish just for observations and for creation video separately of grain, because in grain they are crowding very fast and they are hidden a little bit, and it's quite unusual to show them all together, because all together they are trying to make aggregation. So that's why sometimes they are not very fast to escape from petri dish. In natural conditions, usually they are sitting inside grain already hatched from the grain. The size of these creatures just 2 mm size. Greater maize weevil little bit bigger than Sitophilus oryzae rice weevil, but still it needs to be a specialist and entomologist to recognize them according to morphological features. So that's why if you want to know precisely species name, you need advice from entomologist. Why they are crowding? Because they are irritating by light, so they are trying to escape from the light, because they are living inside hidden places like inside seeds, inside some bags, in darkness. So that's why I'm irritating them with the light, and they're trying to escape. Fortunately, they're not so fast to escape from petri dish, so I have opportunity to show this fun for you. But they are dangerous because they're living inside grains and they're feeding on grains. Usually in your normal urban areas, in city kitchen, you will not find them, because they're inhabiting grain stock, maybe somewhere in a village. So they're more common inhabitants of some stock grains rooms in farming areas. But nevertheless, they can inhabit also shops. They can infest some cereals, some grains, something like maize, sorghum, rice, wheat. So larvae will be feeding on seeds and many other plants, and also like cereal products like pasta. They can eat some food like bread. They can survive on feeding on acorn of oaks very easily in natural conditions. But in shop can easily develop inside bags with cereals, as I said, for instance like a pasta. So that's why try to avoid them in your shop, in your stock rooms. And how to do it, how to get rid of them, because you can recognize if you will have so many beetles inside your grain, all your grain will be damaged heavily, and you need only to throw away this grain for sure, or food products. These beetles have special optimal temperature for development. An optimal temperature is between 25 to 35 degrees Celsius. And this is for grain. And also very important, humidity of grain. Humidity should be 20% humidity or higher. So in wet rain, it's very favorable conditions for these beetles. So that's why physical conditions of storage is very important to prevent infestation. So if you make temperature lower than 15 degrees Celsius, in some cases larvae will stop to develop inside grain or inside food. If you will decrease humidity lower than 12%, it will prevent infestation by these beetles, because they prefer higher temperature between 25-35 Celsius degree and high humidity about 20% or higher. So this is physical conditions. Of course you can use different chemicals, different fumigants for large areas and for high number of food products somewhere in stock. Fumigation is usually done with phosphine chemicals, very strong chemical product, which is dangerous for humans, for animals, but using the gas phosphine will kill all beetles and all larvae. But even not all larvae, but some pupae inside grains can survive even after spreading phosphine gas in stock rooms. So that's why beetles can survive. And also very important prevention measure is hygiene, to use very carefully stock of food products and grains, to delete all possible residues, small numbers of grains, damaged grains, after removal of food products and grain from a stock area. Because in old grains from last season, or maybe in some small pieces of food, tiny population of beetles can develop easily, and so it will give infestation by beetles on large number of food stock. So delete all residues, all small numbers of old grain, old products, to prevent possible infestation. This is also very important. And of course, try to keep all products in closed, sealed plastic materials to prevent infestation through different crevices of product, of small crevices in packaging materials. So these are three most important measures how to get rid of beetles: to delete all old stocks and decrease temperature, decrease humidity, and maybe to make it also, it's important and possible to make aeration of rain, especially with low temperature air, which also will decrease conditions of development of beetles and decrease the population. Because beetles have very high resistance to survive in harsh conditions, like with a low number of air, oxygen, in sealed packages sometimes, so they can survive and make hatching and then following infestation of other products. So to prevent it, it needs to make aeration and low temperature and low humidity. High humidity will make favorable conditions for infestation by these beetles from outside. And all population will increase very quickly, because one female of this tiny beetle, 2 mm size, can lay up to 150 eggs during 1 year. Beetle can survive in good conditions from 1 month up to 12 months. During first 3-4 weeks, female will lay 60-80 eggs, nearly 50% of eggs productivity, so can infest up to 80 grains. So that's why one female can produce 80 new adults during 1 month, and development from egg to the larva and to the pupa and adult will continue about 30 days in favorable conditions. If temperature will be low, lower than 20 degrees centigrade, beetle will not die, but can survive and can decrease activity and can develop slowly during up to 100 days or 110 days. So that's why we can survive even in a cold temperature, in a cold room. Not in very cold room, but still can survive in not favorable temperature conditions. So that's why important to make low temperatures possible, lower than 15 degrees centigrade. 20 degrees centigrade will be good enough for them to grow slowly, up to 3 months or even more. And then, when it will appear in good conditions and good temperature, population will grow very fast, like here in this petri dish. You see, the number of beetles will be extremely high. Sometimes, if you can imagine the presence of rains here, such number of beetles can be the same between rains. I will make another video with rain, so you can see damaged rains, which is also damaged by moisture and damaged by fungi. So this grain, these cereals becoming not eatable, even dangerous for animals and for humans. So that's why if you have a damaged food material, damaged grains, it's better to delete it rather than to feed it yourself, humans, or for animals. Just delete it. If you have small number of grain, small number of food materials, you can also kill all these beetles by boiled water, for instance. By boiled water, or just by increasing the temperature of food materials up to 60 degrees or higher. Not making it smoking for sure, but 60 degrees will be good enough. But all larvae, all eggs and pupae and adults will die in this rain and in food material. So that's also a method how to get rid of beetles if you found something like infested, or just you suspect that some materials have been infested. So you can kill all beetles and larvae by high temperature as well, higher than 60-70 degrees centigrade. So these are all measures, more or less. I described how to prevent infestation, how to get rid of beetles in your home conditions or in your commercial stock, how to avoid the infestation of beetles in such high number like here in this petri dish. And I hope you have funny time to watch this crawling crowds of these tiny beetles, because they are really tiny, just 2 millimeter size, not centimeters, 2 millimeter size, like a rice seed. Because in small rice seed or in wheat seed, just 1 or 2 individuals, 1 or 2 specimens of these beetles are damaging and eating the seeds inside in cavity. And rice and corn and wheat, rye seeds will be damaged and fully not available for feeding. So thank you for watching. I hope it was fun to watch these crawling insects and you got some information about their life development. Thank you for watching. Press like, write your comments. Don't forget to make some donations through Patreon or through Monobanka. Details are given in description. Thank you very much. Subscribe to my channel.